The episode starts in the pre-war flashbacks. A Vault-Tec project meeting is shown. Managers are casually eating while discussing billboard designs for nuclear explosions over Los Angeles. They debate whether a 5-megaton blast or a 10-megaton blast would look better for marketing purposes. One manager notes that in reality it will be multiple 5-megaton blasts, but the design team thinks that would look too busy with too many mushroom clouds. They settle on showing a single large explosion for aesthetic purposes. The meeting continues with discussions about water chip failure rates. They reveal that 30% of water chips will fail, but the good news is they will know which ones fail before installation. This means Vault-Tec gets to choose which vaults will run out of water, giving them power to decide who survives and who does not. They also discuss their internal early alert system that provides at minimum 30 minutes warning from detection to bomb ignition. In downtown Los Angeles, someone suggests offering specialized freeway lanes for premium customers to evacuate, calling it money left on the table. Barb attends a meeting where someone presents technology from Robco. A representative, possibly a double for Robert House, shows off the Automated Man project. He has spent considerable time making machines more lifelike, but jokes that the process works the other way around too, turning people into machines. Barb tries to negotiate, mentioning that Vault-Tec and Robco have always had a special arrangement and that House has multiple vaults to do with as he wishes. However, the representative corrects her, explaining that she must have missed the telegram. Vault-Tec is actually paying House for this technology. In exchange, House gets cold fusion to power his mysterious project in Vegas. When Barb asks what project he is referring to, House's representative suggests it might be above her pay grade and that she will find out about it after the bombs drop. Out in the wasteland, the ghoul wakes up, badly injured and trapped under debris. He struggles to free himself while calling for help. Dogmeat appears, and the ghoul desperately asks the dog to fetch his satchel containing his vital vials. The dog instead brings back his hat. Frustrated and desperate, the ghoul yells that he does not need the hat, he needs the satchel with his medicine. His condition rapidly deteriorates as he begins turning feral. In his desperation to maintain his humanity, he repeatedly tells himself his name. He struggles to remember, finally stating that his name is Cooper Howard. He forces himself to remember that he has a daughter, that her name is Janie Howard, and that she is alive. He keeps repeating these facts to anchor himself to his identity as his body transforms. A super mutant discovers Cooper and begins feeding him uranium. The mutant explains that uranium is bad for regular humans, but good for ghouls. He tells Cooper that there is a war coming, and they need him healthy for what is ahead. Cooper, still recovering, curses his situation. The super mutant begins a philosophical conversation about their existence. He explains that humans call ghouls and mutants abominations, but humans are the ones who created both species, the people who drove them to the point of extinction, and then forgot they ever existed. The mutant explains that while humans forgot about them, the ghouls and mutants did not forget about the people who set everything in motion. However, Cooper explains that he has been surviving in the wasteland for 200 years, and whatever he needs to do, he does alone. The mutant asks how that approach is working out for him. Cooper responds that he has kept himself alive for one specific reason: to find his family. The mutant suggests that to accomplish that goal, Cooper will need friends. However, since Cooper refuses to join their kind, the mutant states that Cooper cannot be allowed to know where they live. He prepares to blind Cooper to protect their location. In flashback scenes, Cooper confronts Barb at their home. Cooper explains that he knows what Barb is planning. He questions how she could consider doing something so horrific. Barb tries to defend herself, explaining that she knows more than Cooper realizes, and that there are over 12,000 nuclear warheads already positioned around the world. Cooper cuts her off, saying he is not a board member but her husband, and he does not care about statistics. Barb insists this is not about statistics, but about their daughter, Janie. She asks him if he would not sacrifice the world to protect their daughter. Cooper struggles to answer. The scene shifts to show Barb meeting with Betty, asking her for information about how the cold fusion diode is stored at Vault-Tec, how it is secured, who monitors it, and everything related to its protection. Betty questions if this is a good idea. Barb admits that none of this is a good idea, but she is proceeding anyway. Later, Barb enters an elevator and encounters a mysterious man who tells her she is just a replaceable part in a machine. He explains that if she forgets her place in the company, she will die, and so will her family. He admits the same will happen to him if he does not communicate this message, emphasizing they are all in the same boat, and not one of them can stop what is coming. He tells her that the leaders of the most powerful corporations will be gathering, and when they do, she needs to tell them that the only way to guarantee results is by dropping the bomb themselves. Cooper demands to know who controls Vault-Tec. Barb admits she does not know. Cooper says they should find out together, but Barb insists this is not one of his movies with a happy ending, and there is nothing they can do. She says the deal is going forward whether they like it or not. She begs Cooper to look at her, reminding him she is his wife, and that he knows her. Cooper responds that he does not know her anymore, calling her Barbara. When she asks where he is going, he says he is going to do something about it. In Vault 33, the inbreeding support group holds a meeting. Mary Ann is shown turning away someone whose family connection is only triple cousins, saying it does not cut it anymore because the group is at maximum capacity. Security arrives and announces that by order of Overseer Betty Pearson, the snack budget for the products of the inbreeding support group has been rescinded, and the group itself has been dissolved. The members react with outrage. Reg demands to talk to Betty directly. When Betty arrives and tries to discuss things privately in her office, Reg refuses and insists they have the conversation right there in front of everyone. Betty explains they are running out of water and cannot justify feeding people salty snacks. Reg counters that they are giving people what they want. Betty says they are working hard on solving the water issue and need time, but people do not get extra rations because of who their parents were. When Betty tries to bring up the Weevil famine, Reg and the entire group shout that they do not want to hear about the Weevil famine anymore. Reg says it feels good to finally say that out loud. Betty realizes she has lost control of the situation as the crowd cheers for Reg. Norm searches for Woody, asking various people if they have seen him. Nobody knows where Woody is. Norm reflects that he does not even like checkers, but only plays because it makes Woody happy, and everyone wants to make Woody happy because he is such a great guy. Chet is told congratulations, and when confused, learns that there is a poster announcing his engagement to Betty. He had no idea about this announcement. Out in the wasteland, Maximus and Thaddeus abandon the power armor because it has trackers and would bring the Brotherhood after them. Thaddeus comments that the armor is more trouble than it is worth. They discover they now possess the cold fusion device. Thaddeus immediately suggests selling it, calling it a sacred remnant worth a fortune. Maximus refuses. Thaddeus tries to convince him by arguing that if they sell it and become rich, they would have the means to be good people. He expresses deep cynicism, saying he would be a good person too if he grew up with abundant food and supplies in a safe, impenetrable home like vault dwellers do. He says he would not look the way he does or have to constantly steal, stab, and lie just to survive. Thaddeus states that he has seen many crazy things in his life, but never a genuinely good person. Maximus asks where Thaddeus was born. Thaddeus replies, the Boneyard, specifically the bad part of the Boneyard. Maximus says he is the lucky one because he came from Shady Sands, where he remembers good people existing. Thaddeus jokes that if Maximus is the lucky one, they are both screwed. Despite their disagreement, Maximus insists they will give the device to a good person, specifically the vault dweller girl he met named Lucy. Lucy arrives at her father's facility eating a handcuffed Hank. Hank announces cheerfully to all the workers that his daughter has arrived to pursue the cause of justice, and they all like justice. He gives Lucy a tour of the facility. He introduces her to Marjorie, asking if she used to be a murderer. Marjorie admits she was, but now works as a pencil sharpener and is very good at it. Hank shows her Sherman and Gregory, explaining they were from opposing tribes who would have killed each other if they met a month ago, but now, they work together peacefully. He introduces Rita, who used to cook people for the Legion, but now makes delicious trail mix. Hank tries to get Lucy to try some, but she politely declines. She tells Hank they are leaving and insists that when they go, they will leave all the doors open so everyone can return home. Hank agrees that she is the boss. Lucy addresses all the workers, telling them they are free now and can all go back to the surface. The workers seem confused and ask if they have to leave because it is dangerous out there. Lucy is surprised when they express that they actually like it down in the facility. Hank explains that his daughter's moral code demands they be freed, but acknowledges it is dangerous on the surface. The workers confirm they prefer staying. Lucy compromises, saying they can stay as long as they like, but the doors will be left open when she and Hank leave. A worker then asks what to do with two males who have not been fixed yet. He explains that all Hank needs to do is push a button to complete their reprogramming. When Lucy refuses to allow it, Hank has the workers send them off without the procedure. One of the men immediately attacks, shouting about the NCR. Violence erupts among the workers. Hank comments that this is exactly the kind of violence he is trying to prevent and wishes everyone could just get along. During the fight, Marjorie offers someone a pencil as a weapon. Eventually, in another flashback, Cooper invites young Hank over. Despite Hank thinking Cooper does not like him, Cooper acts friendly and serves him a very strong drink. Hank quickly falls asleep from whatever Cooper put in the drink. Cooper then searches through Hank's belongings and finds some kind of technological device or data storage. He uses equipment to access the information, his face showing horror at what he discovers about Vault-Tec's true plans and the conspiracy behind everything. Back in the present timeline at the facility, Lucy and the freed workers prepare to leave. Suddenly, Dogmeat appears and starts barking urgently. Lucy looks into the distance and sees something approaching. The ghoul, now recovered from his near-death experience with the Super Mutants, rides toward them. Lucy recognizes him with alarm. The episode ends with the ghoul closing in on Lucy's location, setting up their confrontation after everything that has happened between them. And that's how the episode comes to end. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Filmery Recaps Official.